All right, my people, so let's break this down. Like I said, we got a live trade running. I took this entry from about 117,700 because I saw volume starting to spike up, but the real entry I want to take is at 117,400 and then 117,100. That is about here, this level. I actually have them marked out here so you guys know and see. If we get into the macro chart and look a little bit what's going on here, like I explained this morning, we have Fibonacci levels. Let's go on a daily time frame. And these Fibonacci levels, I mean, like, it's me pulling fib from this bottom to this high. It's pulling fib from the start of the bull market, and that is the low that we had at about 15K in end of 2022. And then also pulling a reverse fib on this last dip that we had. What all these does is it gives us these boxes that I've marked out here. So what I'm always looking for when we are in uncharted territory, because right now we are in uncharted territory. When we trade, when we are down here trading, we have the left to look at. We got market structure, we got candles, we got volume, we got order blocks, support, resistance, trends, whatever you want. Now we got nothing. We are in uncharted territory. There's nothing to the left, all right? So we got to use Fibonacci and we got to use liquidity here. That's the only thing we got to rely on. So Fibonacci gives us the level, and these are the boxes I'm looking at right now. 120K to 122K. That's the first box. Second box I'm looking at is $135,000 to $138,000. That's the second box. Does it mean that we will go in a straight line up there? No. We will probably stall around, maybe have a new pullback, retest this trend that we had, this previous resistance now turn support at about 107K, then push up again. And it's very likely that we will do something like that. Why? Because if we look at the liquidity levels, then we will see also that we have major chunks of liquidity at those levels. Let me see. Here. 105, 106, 107K, major chunks of liquidity. Also here, 112, 113K. So there's a big chance that we pull them back there. But in the end, what we want to see is the market hit this level and make its way up to this level and then further up to what I believe is the top, not the top, but my goal for this bull run, not for this bull run, for this cycle, for this year. And that is 200K minimum. I see even 250K on the charts. Why is that? I will explain. So now we go to the fundamentals. By the way, all coin lovers here, I will look a little bit at all coins as well, but let's look at fundamentals first and break down why I believe that we're going that far. So first and foremost, I've been talking about this a lot. What you see here is the supply on the crypto exchanges, the Bitcoin supply on crypto exchanges. As you see, it's record low. Like this is 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. We have less than 2.3 million BTCs left on the exchanges. There's no crypto left. And what's been suppressing the price up until now, because we seen all the bullish news. So how come BTC has not rocketed up? It's because long-term holders, those that bought at $100, $1,000, $10,000, even $20,000, even at 15K when we dipped at the beginning of this bull run here, they have been selling off. They have been selling off, and when they have been selling off, it's not that they've been going to exchanges and dumping all the BTCs there. They have been headhunted and targeted by these institutions and by these major whales, corporate, and so on. So they have the institutions have bought from them over counter OTC deals. it means it's basically like you, Okan, selling your BTC directly to me instead of sending it to an exchange and I'm buying crypto from the exchange. What that does is it doesn't affect the BTC price. Why do they do it like that? Because they don't want the price to spike. If they will go and buy 100 millions of BTC on the exchanges, price will spike directly. They don't want that to happen. They want to keep the price suppressed so that they can keep accumulating on low prices, low levels. So, and this is what I've been saying all the time. This is why price has been low, and this is what's happening now. Like I've been saying, it's like you holding a balloon or a balloon ball, water ball, underwater. You're pressing it underwater, and as soon as you let go of it, boop, it's gonna fly up, right? The deeper you press it, the higher up it's gonna fly. So this is the same thing with BTC. So right now we're seeing that balloon ball effect. And we can point at a lot of stuff, you know, Trump, tariffs, Jerome Powell will resign or whatever it is. In the end, it's all about supply and demand. And as I showed you guys, supply is diminishing and demand is exploding. Institutions, governments, whales, whatever, are screaming for BTC. So that's one thing. Then we got the second thing, and that is that the M2 money supply is, of course, exploding. It's on a bull run, and it's been so for a very long time. Let's see if I can make this smaller. Like that. All right. So, and whatever the M2 money supply goes up, you best believe crypto is going up, because it means more cheap money in the markets. It means more cheap money in the system, and that makes people more risk averse, willing to take risks and willing to trade, to buy risk assets like altcoins, for example. So this is also signaling that we got an altcoin season incoming. But for altcoin season to really take off, we need to see retail take off. And that is when we start to look at this second chart that you guys saw quickly here. Boom, there it is. This here shows institutions in blue, whales in red, and then we have retail. Now look at retail compared to last bull run. This is last bull run. Look at where retail was. Look at where we are right now. So we just dipped back a little bit when BTC started to push, but retail is far from any bull run levels. We need to see retail coming in for this bull run to really kick off, especially for alt season to really kick off. All right, we need to see the Google trends, that the popularity for searching for crypto, for Bitcoin, for altcoins is going up. Right now it's very low, as you can see. Sorry for that. Like I said, this is what happens when I come to Sweden. I start coughing and I get clogged in my nose. I'm not made for cold weather. I'm made for Spanish weather. I'm made for hot weather. I'm African. And Okanya, Alanya as well. So anyways, this is what's up with the M2 money supply, and this is what's up with retail. This is why we haven't seen any real altcoin season take off yet, but we are seeing the boomer tokens taking off. And that is very important because they are the first ones that will run. They will trigger the altcoin season. Ethereum is kicking off. Ethereum is, like I've always said, don't sleep on this one because it is a sleeping giant. When this one takes off, it takes off. And it is very, very undervalued. Why do I believe so? Because all these institutions are building on top of Ethereum. It's one of the safest blockchains out there, and therefore they choose Ethereum when they're building their own infrastructure for their DeFi systems and so on. Another thing that is very interesting is Dixie, the dollar index. Dixie is dropping. Look at this. Keeps going down. I think it will have a little pullback now, pushing up, maybe retest this previous resistance, but I think it will drop much lower. And that is because the government bonds, the US government treasury notes, treasury bonds are being dumped in the market, which makes the US 10-year and 30-year treasury note spike in yield, in price. So when they're dropping these bonds on the markets, what happens is the price of the US dollar goes down, of course, and I think that will continue for a while more. I think the dollar is kind of due for. I think that is why they're pushing so hard for stablecoin legislations in the United States, because stablecoins are backed by US government bonds. So if people start trading and doing deals, like I'm not only talking about financial markets, when people are purchasing on their doing their daily purchases in the stores and whatever it is, paying bills with USDT or any stable coin, US dollar stable coin, that increases demand for stable coins. More stable coins needs to be minted, and that means, of course, that those stable coins need to be backed by US dollars, which in this case is US government, US Treasury bonds. So this is why they're pushing so hard for. This is the rescue that they see to save the US dollar. We will see if that works or not. I think the US as a whole, as an empire, is due for, and it will fall. This is what and crumble. This is what we see dollar flying as it. This is why we see gold flying as it does, because all these countries holding these US government bonds are dumping them off in the markets, and they are accumulating gold instead. And right now, what's happening is they are accumulating Bitcoin also instead. It has become the new great substitute that a lot of these governments are looking into buying instead of holding US government bonds. They used to be the safest asset out there. If you've been on my streams for a while, then you know that I always got my coffee on the stream, or tea sometimes. Anyway, so that's the fundamentals. Ain't got much more to add than that. If you want to be on top of the fundamentals, make sure you're in the Telegram channel. Links are in the description box below. Make sure you tune into our X channel. That's where we always post fundamentals, as well as on the Telegram channel. Like I said, what do we have? Boom. No, that's not that. Here we have it. All right. And this is also where we post the trade ideas and so on. Back to the charts. Like I said, XRP, I know a lot of people want to hear about XRP. So XRP is right now at the moment breaking through 2.645. That is a major resistance level. Let's say 2.65. Very important resistance level. And once we break through that level, when I say breakthrough, I want to see a daily candle close above, first and foremost. It's not enough that we wick above. I would just see that as a liquidity grab, and then we can drop lower. I want to see a daily candle minimum close above, preferably a weekly candle. Once we do that, I'm expecting us to come back, retest it, and start building support here. All right? Start building support for the next leg upwards. XRP is undervalued. It's very undervalued. It is definitely a long-term gem for you to bet on. If you want to hold long-term, XRP is the case. It is what you want to have. Why? Just to put it simply, the whole new financial system that is being built on XRP or with XRP. So XRP will be a major player in that financial system. ADA will probably also be so. So that therefore, make sure you hold ADA as well, long term. When I say long term, I mean 1, 2, 3 years ahead. All right. Solana, as we know, already is already launched as an ETF, and that happened. I think it was last week, and it's doing quite good. Yeah, it's doing quite good. Okay, yesterday, of course, it dumped a little bit, sold off a little bit. I think because people bought BTC, but otherwise it has been accumulating 33 millions on Wednesday it was. If we look at Bitcoin ETF, crazy accumulation. Look at this here, 1.1 billion yesterday. That's a crazy number. That's staggering. This can be actually some kind of record numbers that we see here. Ethereum ETFs, same, accumulating hard. Don't compare this to the BTC numbers, because BTC is in a class of its own. But these numbers are, you have to compare it to previous numbers, and 383 millions in one day accumulated for Ethereum ETFs. That's a lot. So ETFs are accumulating. There's a lot going on in the background. Like I said, corporate is getting in, and XRP, ADA, Solana, these are the ones you want to bet on in this play right now. Another one is SUI, of course. SUI, I have a play here. If it comes back to 3.28, I want to get in. I'm afraid that I maybe won't see that entry again. We will see. We never know. Trump says something, war, this idiot psychopath Satanago says something again, or does something stupid again, like it always does. And we see the market crash, dip, panic sell-off, and then we will have our perfect entry again. But I believe that the bull market is triggered. I think that this is the end of this dip that we have seen for all these altcoins, including Bitcoin, of course. And I think that SUI is a horse you want to bet on. I think it is, even though it has gone up a lot, I think it's still undervalued, and it will go up a lot more. Another one is Tau. You do not want to sleep on Tau. Tau is the Ethereum of AI. It will rip much higher than it already has. I will not go through too many altcoins. This is what I see so far. A quick look at gold. I said that I believe that gold is going to dip much lower. I'm kind of changing my mind. Why is that? It's because of the dollar. Dollar is dipping, gold is ripping. And I thought that gold would reach like 322, 3,220, 3,230. Right now it looks far away. We have a lot of bullish volume coming in, so we will see. Gold signals have been smashing it. Runner's target, I don't even know how many pips, and it's same thing every single day. So don't sleep on these signals. This is where all these gold trades gets posted. Links are in the description box below. With that said, I don't think I have much more to say. This trade is pulling back right now. And like I said, even if it pulls back, I'm not pulling my stop loss to break even, because I'm looking for an entry at about 117K 100. If anything changes, I will let you guys know in the Telegram channel. But up until now, this is, for now, this is the entry I'm looking at. The optimal entry for me would be $116,000 for one BTC. And from there, I believe that we're going up to about 120K 500-ish. All right, with that said, have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.